Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm at the Caravan and Motorhome Club's Bridlington site with the very latest motorhome from Carthago, the C2-tourer. Now, we've had a C-tourer before, and that now becomes the C1-tourer, but the C2-tourer is all new for 2025. It's a lighter motorhome, and that means that you can have it in lightweight form at 3.5 tonnes. But you can also have the comfort spec version at 4.2 tonnes, or indeed, as upgraded here, to 4.5 tonnes. You can choose from 8 different layouts, from 7.2 metres up to 7.48 metres. The one we have on test is a C2-tourer I 148 RB-QB L Comfort. So it's the heavier version, and the exact layout, well, I integrate as in A-class in German. All the C2-tourers are A-classes. They're all on Mercedes-Benz as well, rather than offering a choice of Merc or Fiat, as in a lot of the Carthago range. The RB-QB bit, well, RB is the Raumbad, the full width ensuite washroom. The QB is Queen's bed. This is an island bed layout, unlike most C2-tourers that have twin single beds at the back. And the L means it's the longer version, 7.48 metres. There is a slightly shorter K model, Kurz in German, which swaps the full width fridge freezer for a slimline model to save 10 centimetres in overall length. A C2-tourer comfort model like this starts at £113,200. But forget that, you won't be spending that, you will be spending more. In typical German style, that is an unrealistic base price. This particular van comes in at £142,415, and that is a more realistic figure for a C2-tourer. So let's go and have a closer look at what you get for over 140 grand. The new C2-tourer is still very recognisably a Carthago, with this bold chrome C on the grille, and of course the 3-pointed star as well. It still has that very premium German look about it. But this is a narrower as well as lighter Carthago. The C1-tourer is 2.27 metres wide. This is 10 centimetres slimmer at 2.17 metres wide. But hold on, if you read the brochure, that is the body width. It doesn't include the wheel arches, which add 7 centimetres. So overall width, 2.24 metres, but still 10 centimetres slimmer than previous Carthagos, and still a little narrower than most rival A-classes. So it has that premium German look, and also the modern tech. So you've got the assistance systems, radar unit, cameras and things built in, both in the grille and behind the windscreen here, and that massive A-class windscreen for panoramic views, both on site and on the road. Then you've got the big bus style mirrors, of course, top hanging. And then let's just have a quick look under the bonnet. It is nice that the bonnet goes up on gas struts, but you still have got the usual A-class issue of rather letterbox access. AdBlue is at least convenient, and with a surround so that you don't spill AdBlue anywhere where it might do harm. And more importantly, perhaps, you have an extended filler for the windscreen washers. So at least there is some consideration of convenience. The C2-tourer is quite a looker, but the beauty goes more than skin deep. Well, the outer skin is aluminium, but behind that is RTM foam, and then a climate regulating finish on the inside. On the roof, it's a GRP finish for hail resistance, and the vehicle has been tested for lightning protection too. Where the floor meets the sidewalls, it is bonded and riveted, and the construction is said to have enhanced torsional stability and give improved side impact protection too, so you'll be safer if somebody hits you. There are premium features, of course, like the framed habitation windows, and typically Carthago, the way the roof and sidewalls meet in a curve rather than at right angles, certainly improves the look of the vehicle, but should also enhance its aerodynamics and stability. This particular vehicle is 7.48 metres long and 2.95 metres high, and it comes with a 10-year water ingress warranty. Now let's take a look down the near side, and starting with these 16-inch black alloy wheels, they are part of the Chassis Plus pack, £7,245. Also includes an upgrade of the engine from 150 to 170 horsepower, the 9G automatic gearbox, 9-speed of course, and also the fully automatic air conditioning in the cab. Now, of course, with a Carthago, you expect a double floor, and although this is a smaller Carthago, it doesn't lose anything in this space, up to 55.5 centimetres deep, 22 centimetres where it goes right the way across underneath the vehicle, all fully insulated heated storage space. Under here you can also see the battery. Now in this particular vehicle it has an upgrade from the standard 80 amp hour gel battery to a 90 amp hour lithium battery. Also saves about 14 kilos of weight. Then moving back further, got your gas compartment, two 11 kilo gas-low refillable cylinders in there. And then your water tanks, well, they're both of course in a fully winterised inboard location. Freshwater is 150 litres and the grey waste tank is 140 litres. And then at the back we come to the garage, of course. The garage is huge, 1.12 metres headroom, 1.3 metres wide, and you have the payload to match. In standard spec, on a 4.2 tonne chassis, you have 1,123 kilos of payload. On this upgraded chassis, but with options, you have even more payload, 1,253 kilos, and, well, loads of space. Pity the illumination is a little bit meagre, but I do like these straps on the back wall to keep your big deck chairs, your big comfy outdoor chairs, nicely stowed. Over on this side, I like the neat storage pocket on the garage door, ideal for things like your toilet chemical. And then you've got your outside shower as well, and your habitation electrics, your RCD and so on, hidden behind this panel. Note also the double seals on the doors. And then if you look at the back, well, it's neatly styled with the star, of course, and separate bumper panel, separate corner units, and these rather nice rear lights. Those separate rear sections, of course, important for ease of repair and cost of repair. You've got your 4.5 metre Omnistore awning, that's a £1,640 option. Toilet servicing hatch, and then on either side of the habitation door, more access into underfloor or basement storage. On this side, well, this would be a useful space for things like hoses, mainly levelling wedges, quite a smaller space. And then this one gives you more access into the area that goes right the way across the van. Habitation door itself, this is called a premium habitation door, and it's linked to the central locking, as is the cab door over on the other side. Single door each side, typical A-class, but the central locking is a £405 option. The door opens on a gas strut, has this nice handle, little storage pockets, window, fly screen, warning light above, and 2-point locking. The step doesn't automatically retract, but it does have a warning buzzer and a step to retract it on the dashboard. On the passenger side, come on Carthago, surely you sell enough right-hand drive vehicles by now to move that switch over onto the driver's side. And then immediately inside the door, you have a trap door into a huge area of underfloor storage. Now, not only is that useful space, but in there you've got access to your boiler drain and your grey waste tank drain in nice insulated, frost protected positions. The lounge is typical Carthago with this L-shaped seating, the comfortable multi-layer premium foam in the seats, so it does feel quite luxurious here, but it's not a huge lounge. That side seat is small and the swivelling of the driver's seat is a little bit restricted, but you can get the seat round far enough to put your feet up, and that's when this little seat makes most sense. The table is quite big. It's got this nice chrome finish to it on the edge, but it's again usual Carthago. You put your foot on a button on the floor and it will twist and slide, and release your foot and it locks in place. You've got a big wind-up roof light above, of course lots of light coming in through the front, and that's where you feel the benefit of the A-Class really, with these big side windows and the huge windscreen. But artificial light is good too. This mood light around the top of the drop-down bed, lots of downlights, spotlights, but no directional reading lights in the lounge area. This upholstery is called Paris, and it's one of the optional extra cost upholsteries which include part and full leather. There are, however, 4 standard upholsteries if you don't want to pay extra. Another extra cost feature is the media package. Now that gives you a 32-inch TV stored on its side by the door with a bracket that swivels it round for viewing, and it also includes your digital reversing camera for £2,450. So I say the cab seats are the prime location for watching the telly, and they do offer a very comfortable pew for doing so. You could watch telly from the sofa as well. It's a very comfortable place to sit. The backrests are nicely shaped. Yeah, it's not a big lounge, but it is a comfortable one. Other things to note, well, you've got coat hooks on the door and by the door. You've got a panel concealing your controls for the lights and so on, water pump, and also for the heater controls. So lights from those don't disturb you at night because they're all hidden away. Heating is a Truma 6 gas and electric, but the electric element is an optional extra. This, of course, is your travel seat, 2 rear seat belts back here. And then the general interior decor, well, this is called Casablanca. There is an alternative called Nuovo, which has handleless top lockers and a slightly different shade of wood. There is access into the double floor area by lifting the seats, both the side seat and the rear travel seat. You've also got a main socket down here by the door and one underneath the bench of the travel seat along with a USB. Another main socket here in the kitchen by this useful shelf. Nice for serving up that. And then over on the other side you've got the full width 153 litre fridge freezer, 2-door fridge freezer, and the doors open from either side. It includes a 29 litre separate freezer. Underneath that is a useful drawer, and then below that the boiler, so keep your underwear in that drawer, keep it nice and toasty. Don't use that for kitchen storage because there's plenty more drawer space in the kitchen over on the near side. 3 large drawers, the bottom one nice and deep for packet foods or pots and pans. Another good size one above, and then the top one for your cutlery and utensils. I like the design of this kitchen, typical Carthago again. It's slightly L-shaped. Now, worktop space may not seem generous, but then you have got this shelf and your cover for the sink simply lifts off and slots in and becomes another useful bit of shelf space. As standard, you get this Master Gourmet 3-burner hob with the cast iron pan stands. Now that's one of the little details that you lose on the lightweight version, just little areas where they've saved weight, but of course here we're in the comfort model. Unlike a lot of German vans, the oven is not up above the fridge freezer. It's at a proper sensible level where you can see if you're burning the dinner. Set for duplex, as we've seen in many motorhomes. Nice unit, and that is a £930 option. You don't have to have it, and that's the important thing with these German vans. Lots of people complain about the cost of all the options. Yeah, they can add up, but you don't have to have what you don't need. Top locker on these nice sprung hinges, and up here you've got another option, this Krupp's coffee machine and the slide out shelf for it. That's a £230 option. Again, good lighting, downlighters in the ceiling and downlighters over the worktop, so it is a nicely lit space, and you've got a roof light above as well. And then little details like these nice shelves all give it a bit of style. Under the oven is another drawer, and you've got 2 bins in there as well. And you'll notice I've left the carpets out because I wanted to show you the trapdoors in the floor. This one gives you more storage, and in there you can see the SOG vent for the toilet. Well, that's now actually vented through the floor rather than previously through the ceiling. And then behind me you've got 2 more trapdoors for servicing the water tanks. It's also a flat floor from the cab right back to the bedroom until you get to this step up in the bedroom itself. And beyond the kitchen, of course, you've got your Raumbad, the ensuite. Now, you've got your toilet facilities on the right-hand side, on the off side, and your shower on the near side. The toilet room door closes off the whole of the back of the van if you want to, for privacy, for a private bedroom. And we'll take a look in there first. In here you've got the usual swivel cassette toilet, a nice counter-mounted basin that's nice and deep and you can get your face over it. Well, you can with the door open like this, but when the door's closed, this is a very confined space, surprisingly so really. So it's best to use the facilities with the door opened round, and then if anybody's in the bedroom, just use the sliding door that closes off the bedroom. You've got nice storage with fiddle rails to keep things in place. Oh, why don't they all do that? And then a feature that I really like, little one, is this backlit mirror. When I went into the loo in the middle of the night, that is a subtle light that doesn't go whoa and wake you up. It's very good idea, that. And then a nice touch is this waterfall style tap. The shower has a false floor to sort of increase the bedroom floor space when you're not using it, and that's quite a practical touch. Unfortunately, in the shower itself you have got quite a lot of intrusion. That must be a wheel arch there. But undo a couple of straps and your screens just pull around, and you have, well, for me, a good practical shower, but you wouldn't want to be masses bigger than me. I've got a roof vent above. You can use the shower head handheld or clipped to the riser bar. You've got little corner shelves for your shampoo and your shower gel, but you will need to stand facing the wall because of the intrusion of that wheel arch. Good to see that there are two drain outlets though. And I had a good shower in there this morning. And then of course there's the bedroom. Typical island bed format with wardrobes on either side and top lockers above. But because the bed slides back into this chaise longue position, it is a really comfortable place just to lie back and relax, to chill out in the morning or maybe at bedtime. You have these nice reading lights, you've got USBs on both sides and a main socket also on that side. You've also got these little pigeonholes which are ideal for your specs at night or a bedtime book or whatever. Again, lots of nice lighting, mood lighting, down lights. It is a really comfortable space. The bed is excellent and it is 1.86 metres by 1.45 metres or 6'1" by 4'9". When it's time to turn out the lights and draw the blinds, it's easy enough to fold the bed flat, and you can do each half individually, so one of you could stay sitting up if you so desire. Just these handles at the foot of the bed, and now, well, you've got easy access with a step at either side, but it is a lot more confined around this side of the bed to squeeze through. And you will need to remember this step at the foot of the bed. You don't want to fall down that in the middle of the night. Then if you pull the screen to shut off the bedroom, well, on the near side, the divider screen actually touches the end of the bed. I guess that'll only worry you though if you're using this C2-tourer as a 4-berth, because otherwise you can just shut the toilet door round and you're private from the front of the vehicle. There's no need then really to use this screen. The other bed, well, that's the drop down one in the cab. It's easy enough to hop up into the front bed using that side seat as your step. Up here, this is actually the slightly bigger bed at 1.89 metres by 1.48 metres or 6'2.5" by 4'10". It has just one little reading light, a downlighter, a bit of shelf space, but it needs a roof vent. You would be very hot and stuffy in here, parked up in the med. It's almost time to go for a drive, but before I do, I should mention where a lot of your extra cash goes between the base price and the 142 grand as tested here. And £11,410 is accounted for by the Basic Plus package, and it includes all manner of gear that you won't want to do without, and frankly, which Carthago are highly unlikely to ever build one of these without, because it includes things like the rear speakers, front axle increased load capability, the XL premium habitation door, a wastewater hose, USB sockets, the 10-inch multimedia display, larger fuel tank, and so on and so on and so on and so on. There's lots in there. Even the cruise control is in there, and that accounts also for 84 kilos of extra weight. Another thing that you won't do without in a Carthago is the feature that I forgot to show you earlier, the little slide-out shoe rack under the seating. All Carthagos seem to have it, and it is rather neat. Now then, usual Mercedes-Benz, foot on the brake, finger on the start button. Of course, the step switch over here. And then you engage gear with this little stalk control. Your lovely reversing camera comes on because we're going backwards to start with, and then you just flick off the electric parking brake and off we go. On the road, I have to say I'm very impressed by this Carthago, or rather probably more by the Mercedes aspect, because the 170 horsepower engine, well, it feels more powerful than that. It's very smooth, plenty of grunt, gear changes are as seamless as they come. Of course, you've got the Alco chassis with the wide rear track, so it handles very well. It feels nice and stable. It's a very easy vehicle to drive, and I can't help feeling that that just 10 centimetres of less width does make a difference. Yep, there's a few rattles and judders and things from the living area, but generally conversion noise is pretty well subdued. Certainly for a vehicle of this class. Your bus mirrors give you a really good view. Of course, you've got the usual MBUX display that gives you a lovely crystal clear sat nav, reversing camera and so on. I do like the fact that with Mercedes you've still got proper dials rather than the digital type of dashboard. I just prefer it. And a nice leather steering wheel, and of course you've got the assistance package as well, which, yeah, it's another expensive option, but it does give you all the modern assistance gear, you know, lane keeping assistance and all the rest of it. And of course, being a 2025 vehicle, it bongs at you if you do 31 miles an hour in a 30 limit. But the main thing to say really is it just drives really well. Oh, and we should do a windscreen wiper test, because that's always a big thing with an A-Class. And if you look, they cover a really good amount of the windscreen. They're set up for right-hand drive. No complaints there whatsoever. I should comment too on the fact that Carthago make a big thing about the visibility from their A-classes, and the sloping dashboard does mean that you can see the road much closer to the front of the vehicle than you can in some A-class vehicles, and that does give you a lot more confidence in positioning the vehicle on the road. It really is a crucial factor, and you should take that into account and always sit in the cab and look at that view out and how far ahead you can see the road when you're considering buying any A-class motorhome. So that's the Carthago C2-tourer I 148 RB QBL Comfort. A motorhome with a very long name, but only typically long body, and a slimmer body than a lot of its rivals. You might need a slimmer body to get into that shower, and consider that the toilet area needs to be used with the door open across, blocking off the back, but not shut and confining you into that small space. But instead, revel in the comfort of this lounge and that super bed, especially in its luxurious chaise longue position. I hope you've enjoyed this latest motorhome review, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next review.